Hello, hello, testing, we are live. Testing, yeah, live. All right then. Hello everybody, today we're gonna speak about power banks, how to make one of our own, how you gonna improve the one that you have, what's inside, and basically how to make a better one. Alright, so the topic of today, as the board says, is power banks. You should know what a power bank is. It's got many shapes and sizes. This is a power bank, nonetheless. It's rated at 4000 milliamps, but it's kind of tricky. We don't know if that one is true or not. Another power bank is this. You saw this one in most of my project, the cheapest and reliable one as well. This is rated at 1200 milliamps, 5 volts, 0.8 amps in, and 5 volts, 1 amp out. Once again, overrated. But you never know when you're gonna find this thing handy. And the last, la pièce de la résistance, how I say in some of my videos, this is a homemade power bank. I know it looks terrible, but believe me, this one is better than this one, and comparing to this is almost the same capacity of this one. I'm gonna show you a quick test. Here we have this one. This is a USB LED modified light that you're gonna find in my last video. We're gonna plug it in straight away. We're gonna turn on. We got an indicator here and is working. Here you go. You see? So the LED is lighting on our homemade power bank. You can find this one, I think, as well on Instructables. But I'm gonna make one of these days. I'm gonna make one big power bank, huge one, like 10,000 milliamps hour battery, but I'm still waiting for parts, so it's gonna be a while. All right, so the first thing about power banks, this one we're gonna take it as our guinea pig, and we're gonna dismantle it straight away to see what's inside this power bank, this cheapy one. This one you can find it on Pound Shop here in UK, and I think should be this one in USA as well, on a dollar store. But for sure you're gonna find it on GearBest, and I think AliExpress for sure. Should be like $1.5 or nearly $2, in that range. All right, so here you go. This is all the stuff that's inside the power bank. This is a control module here on the input, which has 2 inputs. Actually, 1 input and 1 output. This is for charging and this is for discharging, USB and micro USB. And inside here, as you can see, is a lithium-ion cell 18650. Yeah, but because of the battery the power bank actually is rated 1200 milliamps, and we can see on the battery inside it as well 1200 milliamps. So it means that this rating of the power bank is not right. Because, and I'm gonna explain you why is that. All right, so it says it's 1200 milliamps, and inside of the power bank is one cell, a lithium-ion cell 18650, and the control module like this one over here. So this one is attached like so, and put it in that small tiny case. All right, but for this one, in order to provide energy and power to our phone or our USB device, let's say, it has to step up the voltage from 3.7 or 4 volts all the way to 5, and to provide the amps necessary for this load to be driven. In that process of stepping up the voltage, it's gonna sacrifice some amps. So this one, it says, is gonna output, let's say, 1 amp, which is overrated maximum. So 1 amp output. We got our cell. This is 18650 cell. Yeah, 18650 cell. In order to step the voltage up to 5 volts and provide 1 amp, it's gonna draw from the battery. 1 amp is gonna draw from the battery, and actually for 1 amp it has to draw 2 amps. But that is not gonna be able to do it with this small thing. I'm gonna tell you now the practical thing. You know, to charge a phone, let's say like this. Charge our phone. We normally, with a small and regular phone, smartphone actually, we're gonna need 0.5 amps. So in order for our power bank to be able to deliver 0.5 amps, it has to draw from this tiny battery 1 amp. 1 amp. So 1 amp at 4 volts, which has this one when it's fully charged, yeah, to 5 volts and 0.5 amps. You see? So from 1 amp 4 volts to 5 volts 0.5 amps. That's why with this kind of power bank, this cheapy one, is not gonna be able to charge your phone all the way through, because it has the capacity of 1.2 amps. So 1 hour of driving this one, charging your phone, is gonna consume 1 amp and 4 volts to deliver this thing. And because this one has a capacity of 1.2 amps, it's gonna last 1 hour also. And in 1 hour is gonna put just 0.5 amps into your phone. And normally a phone battery, a smartphone like mine, let's say in general, I do have 2 phones, which one I'm filming now. This is a Samsung Galaxy Grand Duo. This one, it has the battery of 2200 milliamps. Yeah, and our power bank over here is able to deliver 0.5. 0.5 means 500 milliamps. Yeah, so in order for this one to deliver that much power to charge our phone, it's gonna have like 4 hours and something, but we're gonna round it up to 5 hours. So we're gonna refer to the phone as X, yeah, and the capacity is 2.2. Our power bank, which is gonna be referring to PB, yeah, so this one is the power bank. This one has a capacity of 1.2, they say, but it's gonna deliver just 0.5 amps. Yeah, amps here, amps here. So in order for our phone to be fully charged, we're gonna need like 5 hours, nearly, yeah, 5 hours of time on that amps to be able to fully charge the phone. But because this power bank to deliver as small as 0.5 is drawing like 1.2, that's why it's not gonna last. Maximum is gonna last 1 hour. Yeah, because it's got the total capacity of this battery is 1200 milliamps. You know, so he's gonna charge your phone for 1 hour at this value, taking into consideration if the battery is good, if the charger is new, and so on. If the capacity, which I did find in some of this one, because I did test them, they're not close to 1200 milliamps. Some of them are 800, 600, and so on. But in order to accomplish this power drop, we can put multiple cells like this one in parallel. Yeah, because I told you once, you know, because just one thing like this one is not gonna be able to charge your phone. Just one, yeah, it's gonna provide 1 hour. 1. But if I'm gonna add another one, here we go, 2 hours. Another one, 3 hours. Another one, 4 hours. So we are lacking just one to be able to do our 5 hours capacity of stuff. Yeah. As I'm gonna show you here, this is a homemade power bank, which I didn't do nothing in special, you know, nothing. Just I took one of these power banks, I take it apart, and I added in parallel two of these. As you can see here, you see 1, 2, 3. I put them in parallel, and the same controller, and I put some wires, you know, because that micro USB connector is very thin, so I did put another one and glue it inside there to be more steady. Yeah, but doing this, you know, adding more batteries, I extended the capacity of this power bank. So now this one is no longer 1200 like original was. Now is like 3600, and if I'm gonna add 2-3 more, I can go till 10,500 milliamps. Yeah, as long as you're gonna add them in parallel, you're gonna exceed that power drop. You know, with just one battery, you have this one thing, but adding 2 of them in parallel, you're gonna split the load between them, so it's not gonna be that much force applied to one single battery. So it's gonna the load is gonna be spread across these 2 batteries, and we're gonna have more capacity than initially we started with. All right, and now I'm gonna show you some very interesting arrangement of the parallel thing of the cells, which you can apply to your solar system if you have, or lithium-ion cells in general, or whatever you want. This one, I have a magnet here. Yeah, with this magnet, here we go. This is a series connection of 2 batteries. In this case, these are 4 volts lithium-ion cell. If I'm gonna put them like so, this one is called like series, whatever, SIR. We're gonna call it SIR from series connection. Yeah, because it's too much. And because one battery has 4 volts, this one has 4 volts as well. When we connect them in series, we're gonna have 8 volts, and so on. If you're gonna add 2 or 3 or 4, you're gonna end up to whatever 15 volts and whatever you wanna do it. But the only problem with adding cells in series is balancing, because unbalanced cell can lead to damaging the cells. When you are doing a charge from a series batteries, this one, lead acid, doesn't matter. If they're not perfectly balanced, the charge is gonna be driven to the smaller cell. So the charge, if let's say this one is 3.5 and this one is 4, most of the driven part is gonna be taken, most of the current, let's take it this way, is gonna be taken from this battery. And doing so, this one is gonna discharge faster than this one. And as time and time, charging, discharging, and so on, this one is gonna be no longer usable this year. All right. We have another option besides the series connection. After the series connection, we have the parallel connection of batteries. Yeah. So parallel connection means we're gonna take the battery and we're gonna put it like so. We're gonna join some wires from each and every thing, and here you go. This is a series connection. parallel, sorry. We have the same amount of voltage, same 4, but we're gonna increase the capacity. I told you that one battery like this is 1200 milliamps, yeah? But putting 3 of them in parallel is gonna give us 500 milliamps, 3500 milliamps. So we've tripled the capacity of our batteries. And doing so on, we can add like hundreds, thousands. A good example for this one is a Tesla battery, or power wall is called. In a power wall or in a Tesla battery for home application, they got multiple values and multiple outputs. The most common one is, I think, 500 watts. This is on a Tesla power wall. 500 watts, I think, is 1 kilowatt and 3 and so on. But in order to reach this 500 thing, we have to have 220, let's say, and in USA it's gonna be like 110, yeah, or 20, whatever. So we have to multiply these batteries, we have to put them in series, in parallel, to reach this voltage. But the only problem we have when we put them in series, like so, because they're not gonna be balanced, you know, it's gonna be a problem along the line, somewhere, we don't know, it's not visible. The only visible thing is in the moment that the battery is not gonna hold charge and it's gonna discharge very fast, and that's the sign. But in order to skip away this thing of inequality or unbalancing the series parallel connection, the most used way and easiest way is to connect the batteries in parallel. But even though connecting the batteries in parallel is not that easy as it seems, because you know the difference between series and parallel connection, if it's series connection we got just one path from plus to minus, but in parallel connection we got multiple paths. Look, 1, 2, 3 wires, and again 1, 2, 3 and wire here, so we have 3, 6, 7, 8 paths. In the series we got just one, but that's dangerous. In parallel is more safe, but we got more. So the same, in parallel the cells can be out of balance very easily. But to achieve a perfect balancing system, I did discover the other day some diagram how to connect the batteries in a safest way. Probably you know till now how to connect the batteries in series, yeah? And you know from the automotive industry how it's done. But I'm gonna show you today a different way to do it, a more safer way, yeah? And it's up to you guys to share it and experiment with it, and if it's good or bad for you, tell me, you know, and maybe we're gonna improve it, and we have to share it to the world. Alright, so most common, we got some batteries, yeah? Plus, minus. We're gonna refer to this one as lead acid batteries. We're not gonna take no notice about the lithium-ion cells, yeah? So we have two batteries, plus and minus, okay? We're gonna extend the wire, one from plus to plus, and again a minus to minus. Most of the people, and they are doing it wrong, they are putting some cables from here to here, and that's it, yeah? This is our parallel connections. But this is wrong, because this battery is gonna provide most of the power and is gonna be unbalanced from this one over here, yeah? Another way to do it, is to remove these connections and put it again in parallel, and take one lead from here. So this is the plus, yeah? We're gonna take the plus and the minus, we're gonna take it all the way from this cell. You see? This is called cross parallel connection, because some of the cells are already in parallel here, but we're gonna draw the positive from the first one and the negative from the farther away battery. That means the current has to pass once through here, through this path, going back here, and then outside. This is a better way, but even this one is not perfect. Let's say you got multiple batteries, yeah? You have more than 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna show you a method here which is perfect for pair batteries. So this one is applicable from 2, 4, 6 and so on, just in pairs of 2. This one is a pair, yeah, and is nearly to perfect balancing. But let's say if we're gonna add another one here, I told you previously that it's not gonna be able for us to deliver that much power if we're gonna connect it in this kind of number, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. We have to go just from pair numbers, so 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. This is the perfect number when we're gonna put some batteries in parallel to give us the perfect balancement of the cells. All right, so in our case of power bank of today, in order to do the perfect power bank, we did do the calculation early, and we end up to the conclusion that we're gonna need 5, which is not good. So we're gonna take 4, assuming that we're gonna find somewhere on the internet or wherever some bigger capacity than 1200. Yeah, and we're gonna go with 4 batteries. We're gonna take from this power bank the same charge controller if we want to keep it on the budget, or if not, at the end of the video is gonna be some links into the description where you can find similar battery charge protectors like this one, which are able to draw more power and charge it more faster than this one. All right, so I told you that we're gonna need 4 batteries. Yeah, we got 3 for this example, but you got the point. We're gonna need 4 of them. Yeah. For connecting 4 batteries, which 4 is a perfect number for what I told you earlier, 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. We got 4, perfect. Now we're gonna draw the batteries. Yeah, this is plus, this is minus. This is one series of stack of 2, again plus, minus. And we're gonna have another 2. We're gonna refer it as stack 1 and stack 2. All right, there you have it, 4 batteries lying alongside us and prepare for connection. All right, the first connection is gonna be plus to plus, so 1 and 2. Again, 3 and 4, the same, yeah. Minus, we're gonna do the same thing. And another important thing, when you are connecting batteries in parallel, for lead acid batteries as well, and for lithium ion, and for any cell, because it's related to Ohm's law, this wire or wherever is going to be your connector have to have the same width and the same length. So basically this wire has to be the same length and the same size all over. If we're gonna use like 2 centimeters of wire, 24 gauge, let's say, we're gonna use it here, 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 and here. The same all over the place, has to be the same length and the same wire gauge. Alright, now in order to perfect balance this battery, we're gonna take a wire from this cell and we're gonna connect it to our thing over here. Yeah, and because we have to go from all the parallel connection, we have to go from the farthest part to the closest part. You see, the farthest battery, so the last battery is gonna go, so the first from the first stack is gonna go to the first from the second stack. And for the negative, and if it's gonna be the connection is gonna be on the other side as well, has to be the same stuff. Yeah, you know, live problems, technical. So plus connection is on this side. The first battery is gonna go to this one, and this one is gonna go to this. Yeah, because they're opposite. You see, pairs. They call pairs of wires. And this one is gonna distribute the power evenly all the way through the batteries. Because I saw in an article and on a special website for lead acid batteries where they're sharing tips and tricks about how to do it and basically some forbidden knowledge about it. Let's say we have the classical connection, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4 batteries. Yeah? The first is gonna be like this. There you go. The typical connection is gonna be like this, and we're gonna draw the charge, let's say from here and from here. This is not bad, you know, not bad at all. But they end up to the conclusion that the stress of pulling the amp is referred to this battery and this one. So this two is gonna be the stressful battery in the system. So because this one is gonna be the stressful batteries in the system, they're more likely this kind of battery, these first two or last two, whatever you want to call it, are more in danger to break down sooner than these two. As well, on the charging process is the same thing, because on the discharging process this one is going to discharge faster than this one, so this two is going to conserve and this one is going to use. Think it as this way. These are the workers and this one is the government. Yeah, this one they're not going to do nothing and take all the money, and this they're gonna work their ass out and they're gonna have nothing in return. On top of that, they're gonna die sooner and they're gonna get sick and so on. Yeah, this is the analogy that I'm thinking at the moment. But in order to do this, I'm gonna have a special video on how to do that parallel connection properly for everybody to understand it and to use it, and to tell me maybe if this kind of arrangement is good or bad, or because when you are putting cells like this in parallel, you see, whatever you're gonna measure with a voltmeter, if you're gonna measure here, 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 you're gonna have the same voltage. That draws us to the conclusion that maybe in parallel the batteries are well balanced, better balanced than in series. But in order to protect them furthermore than they are able to protect them themselves, yeah, because they are doing this conservation kind of thing, they are trying to level the voltage and the amps between themselves, and to give them a heads up to be able to extend the life of these batteries and lead acid in general, we have to use the arrangement that I'm going to show you in a special video just for that, how to do the parallel connection of power banks or batteries in general, the perfect parallel battery connection or whatever. You can tell me in the comments below which one is going to be the best title for it, to have the most impact and to be able to be seen by many people, because this is all the point of this channel. I'm sharing you free knowledge, tips and tricks on how to do it. Sometimes they are funny, sometimes they are useful, sometimes because I got loads of idea and I cannot do all the time what is needed, kinda. I don't do what is needed and what most in general people wants, like funny cats, dogs and whatever. I do stuff that are required from you guys, from the comments below, and what I can do, because I cannot do them all. I don't have that much expertise and I don't have that much money to spend on electrical components and so on. So in order for you to receive and to see exactly what you need, you can contact me via email, Facebook and so on. All the descriptions are on the channel. No Skills Required is a channel. As the name says, you don't need any particular skills to replicate and to copy what I'm going to tell you. All of them are tested, verified, and with small amount of money you can do lots of stuff, friends. Lots of interesting DIY project, electronic, homemade, as I like to call them. All the stuff that you need, and not all, because you have to buy some components as well. We cannot make them free, everything. That will be a paradise, but believe me, it's not. So I'm gonna show you once again this homemade power bank. Oops. As you can see, it's got an indicator inside. And this is a homemade LED lamp, which from a regular carabiner light like this one, we have managed to extend some wires and we put an USB cable, and here we go. We have light in emergency situation. When the grid is gonna go off, at least you have an universal USB LED light that you can plug this one in any USB device. The power draw is not that bad, it's 200 milliamps on full power, and if you're gonna put it on lower, it's gonna draw like 100, and on flashing is 150. You see, it's very handy to have. This one is on GearBest, I think, or some websites, like electronic websites like that, for $1.50. But the cob light inside this one is very hard to find. And from what I read about it, is like 3 watts LED, so it's not that bad. You can use it for various projects all over the stuff, and could be handy. It's better to have them, to have it, or to have them in general, and the knowledge is better to have it and not use it, not to be needed to use it, than to not have it at all. Because in this way you are prepared in any scenario, just in case, and you don't have to buy commercial stuff, and you don't have to take it as they advertise it, because advertisement is not all the time the same with the truth. They try to trick you with flashy lights, with graphics, with price and so on, so you're gonna end up buying it, whatever reason. You don't have enough money, or you need it, or you find a bargain. So that's it. This is the thing that drives you to do this stuff. But in order to be back to our power bank over here, another important thing about power banks is pass-through charging. What this means, this in particular, this thing, It's got two ports, yeah? This one is for charging, the other one is for discharging. But when you are charging this power bank, you ain't gonna be able to draw charge, to discharge it from this port. So that's why we can add a pass-through charger to any power bank as long as we got access inside and so on. The pass-through charging meaning we can use this one, this small device, as a UPS, uninterruptible power supply. You know, the big chunky UPSs, yeah? But we can do the same with this one. Basically, you can plug it into a charger, and you're gonna take another power bank like this. You're gonna remove the circuit inside, which is looking like this, and you're gonna connect it in parallel to the existing connection, like so, yeah? And in this way, this is independent from this one. You can charge this one and discharge it in the same time from this. From the same thing is not possible as well, but from this one it's possible. And as well, you can charge it through here, discharge it from here, charge it from here, discharge it. Very easy. But you have to take in mind one thing. To be able to charge it and discharge it in the same time, your power supply or power adapter brick that you are charging this one, it has to have the power to deliver to the battery and to deliver to the discharging thing, like so. So our power supply has to be twice plus the capacity needed for this one to charge. Normally this one you can plug it in any 1.2 amp charger, wall charger for phone, and it's gonna do the trick. But in order to add this pass-through charging feature, we have to have the same 1.2 needed for this one, which is not gonna take 1.2, it's gonna take like 500. But it has that margin of error. You see that the transformer, you know, or the power wall block is rated for 1.2, but is drawing like 500, 600 in some cases. So it has that margin of at least twice that capacity to have it there just in case. So in order to this one be charged and discharged in the same time, we're gonna need 1 amp for this one, 1 amp for this one, let's say run it up, and plus some emergency margin. So in order to this one to be able to charge it on the wall, you're gonna need an adapter of 2.5 amps, 5 volts, 2.5 amps, or 3 volts, 3 amps, sorry. That's why it's very good to have this one, just in case. And if you don't know how to do it, maybe if I'm gonna see some people that they need it badly or they want to do it, it's pretty straightforward. But I'm gonna do a video special for that, or in Instructables. As well, all your comments are readden, and if they are polite, I reply to all my subscribers and all the commenters. There's no questions about, you can see the comment. And but if you want to get in contact with me and require some plans, diagrams, or maybe a collaboration, whatever, you can find me on the email address demiwattuk@gmail.com. I'm gonna write it down for you guys, or on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Google Plus, and on YouTube as well. I'm everywhere, friends. It's easy to find me. Just you have to type in YouTube NoSkillsRequired, and you're gonna find loads of video. We have made it till now like 120 plus videos. We are approaching 8,000 subscribers, so it's a milestone for us, and a big thank you for all of you guys that are subscribing and liking my videos. I think I'm doing a good job for everybody, providing this knowledge and sharing the tips. The stuff is no skills required to replicate all this stuff, and you're gonna learn something on the way. Yeah. All right, so the email address is demi.what UK. Yeah, demi.what, double T at the end, UK, around gmail.com. As well, you can find my first video ever, demi.what, without a UK, demi.what. You can find, this is a secret video that I posted 3 or 4 years ago, the first ever video. You just call it, just search for it, demi.what, and you're gonna find that basically demi.what means so demi and watt. Yeah, watt is electrical, meaning measurement unit for power, watts, and demi is like half, so half a watt. If you're gonna find that old video of mine that's called demi.what, you're gonna find there a device which is composed by 2 LED bulbs that both of them are drawing 0.5 watts. See? And they got a pretty amount of power and could be useful. You can use one into your house as a night light, and the other one could be outside, you know, like a garden light or something like that. Has pretty power. You can read on it, but needs to be improvement, and I got tear apart about that one long year ago. But you never know when we're gonna revive the demi.what and we're gonna make it shine once again. Alright friends, that was the streaming for today about power banks, about batteries, and as always, if you have something and you need something for future projects, leave the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification thing, because I find out that there are some changes on YouTube and it's a very big mess now about demonetization and all the stuff. That's why if you're gonna hit that bell, you're gonna receive wherever I'm gonna post videos, and you can be there to support the channel. Thumbs up, share it, and put a comments and wherever you can. Thanks all for watching. Till the meanwhile, share this fun and let me know what you're gonna need for next week. All the best, have a nice weekend, and see you on the next one. See ya. Ciao.